Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're heading to a place where the shadows, well, they genuinely seem to have a life of their own. We're going deep into the Aravalli hills of Rajasthan, India, to a ruined city that holds a very dark, very specific distinction. It's widely considered to be the absolute most haunted location in all of India. And look, this isn't just a place of spooky rumors or fleeting campfire tales. The legends here are so deeply woven into the stone that they've literally shaped modern law. We're going to unearth the history, the terrifying folklore, and the startling scientific truths behind the mystery of Bhangarh Fort. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this official government warning is what immediately hooks pretty much everyone who hears about Bhangarh. This isn't some flimsy warning put up by a local superstitious tour guide, right? This is an official, legally binding sign posted directly at the main gate by the Archaeological Survey of India, a literal government body. It strictly prohibits anyone from being inside these ruins in the dark. It's a highly unusual administrative ban that totally begs the question, what exactly is the Indian government trying to keep us safe from? I mean, is it the living or the dead?
To really understand this ban, we need to look at what this place actually is. Built way back in 1573 CE by Raja Madho Singh, Bhangarh was once a magnificent, bustling city. Just imagine it for a second. Grand palaces, chaotic marketplaces, intricate Nagara-style temples dedicated to Gopinath and Hanuman, all strategically sitting right on a flourishing trade route. But today, it stands completely abandoned. During the day, it's this stunning, sun-drenched marvel of 16th century Rajasthani architecture. But as you look at the eerie, crumbling stone walls and these open, empty courtyards, you can easily see how the atmosphere dramatically shifts the second the sun goes down and those long shadows start stretching across the ruins.
So, according to local oral history, the total downfall of this great city comes down to a really dark and tragic legend. It goes like this. There was a princess named Ratnavati, and her beauty was famous across entire kingdoms. Well, a powerful tantric sorcerer named Singhia became completely obsessed with her. Knowing she'd never willingly accept him, he used his dark magic to enchant a bottle of perfume she was buying in the market. But Princess Ratnavati, sensing the sinister spell, literally hurled the bottle away. It smashed against a massive stone boulder. The magic, now attached to the stone, caused that massive boulder to roll backward, crushing the sorcerer. But with his dying breath, Singhia cast a devastating curse that the city would be utterly destroyed and no soul within it would ever find peace or rebirth.
And as the legend tells it, the curse took hold almost immediately. Within just a year, a brutal war broke out between Bhangarh and the neighboring kingdom of Ajabgarh. The city was completely sacked. It said that 10,000 people living in the fort were slaughtered, including Princess Ratnavati herself. Because of the sorcerer's dying words, locals truly believe that the spirits of all those who perished are trapped inside the fort's boundaries, doomed to wander the ruins for eternity. They basically believe the fort is a massive stone cage for thousands of restless souls. Which brings us to the modern day, where thrill seekers and regular visitors constantly report terrifying anomalies. And honestly, the accounts are chillingly consistent. People walking near the dancer's haveli report hearing the distinct sounds of music, rhythmic footsteps, and the sharp breaking of glass bangles. Professional photographers have had fully charged equipment mysteriously drained to zero the exact moment they cross the threshold. Others report sudden, freezing temperature drops, a suffocating feeling of disorientation, and that undeniable, creeping sensation of being watched from the empty windows of the ruined palace. The sheer volume of these experiences is just staggering. It makes you wonder, right? Is the ancient curse actually real? Are the spirits of Princess Ratnavati and the sorcerer really acting out their tragedy in the dark? Or is it possible that our own minds, mixed with the unique environment of the fort, are just playing terrifying tricks on us? Let's pivot for a second and look at what science has to say about the ghosts of Bhangarh. Now, what's really interesting about this is a fascinating, entirely rational explanation for all this dread: infrasound. These are low-frequency sound waves that fall just below the threshold of human hearing, so you can't hear them, but your body absolutely physically feels them. Bhangarh sits right in the Aravalli Hills, which is a region known for specific wind patterns and minor seismic activity. When these strong winds blow through the complex, hollow geometries of the crumbling stone ruins, it basically acts like a giant instrument generating infrasound. And studies actually show that exposure to infrasound causes severe physiological reactions in humans. We're talking cold sweats, unexplained panic, hyperventilation, and that very distinct, creepy feeling of a presence in the room with you.
So let's contrast the folklore with the physical reality here. On one hand, you have supernatural claims of shadow figures and the sounds of invisible dancers, but on the other, we have documented scientific realities. Paranormal researchers who have investigated the fort noted unusual fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, and high EMFs are actually known to cause mild hallucinations and feelings of paranoia in the human brain. Combine that with the unique acoustic architecture of ancient stone walls, which, by the way, can amplify a whisper or a footstep from 100 yards away and make it sound like it's right behind you, and you have a literal recipe for sheer terror.
Plus, we absolutely cannot underestimate the power of human psychology in all this. There's a famous local saying that roughly translates to, "If you are told ghosts live here, even a swaying tree looks like a walking ghost." I mean, it hits the nail on the head. When you prime a visitor with stories of a dying sorcerer, 10,000 trapped souls, and strict government bans, their brain enters a state of high alert. This is extreme expectation bias. In the pitch black of an isolated ruin, your mind will desperately try to make sense of every shadow and every rustling leaf, almost always concluding that the supernatural is at play. So the crucial point is, why the government ban, right? If it's just wind making infrasound and our own psychology playing tricks on us, why make it straight up illegal to enter at night? Well, if we zoom out and look at the geography, the supernatural veil lifts entirely. Bhangarh Fort sits directly on the border of the Sariska Tiger Reserve, which is a massive 866 square kilometer protected wildlife sanctuary. The real dangers in the dark are highly physical and, frankly, way more lethal than a ghost. After sunset, the fort essentially becomes a foraging ground for Bengal tigers and leopards. Furthermore, the area is heavily populated by packs of scavenging hyenas. And if you've never heard a hyena call in the wild, it sounds remarkably like a woman screaming or a baby crying, which perfectly explains the terrifying vocal anomalies tourists report hearing. Add in the troops of monkeys violently shaking the trees, the complete absence of artificial lighting, and 16th century walls and deep open stepwells that could literally crumble or swallow you whole, and suddenly the ASI ban isn't about protecting you from a curse at all. It's an administrative necessity to keep you from being eaten or breaking your neck. And this whole thing just brilliantly illustrates how myths are truly born. You start with an administrative warning rooted in genuine physical geographical danger. Then you layer that with generations of powerful oral history, a centuries-old tragedy, and a genuinely eerie acoustic environment. They perfectly synthesize. The local culture, the wild animals, the architecture, and human psychology all combine to transform a ruined city into an unending, legendary cultural phenomenon. It's like a giant puzzle coming together. Ultimately, Bhangarh Fort is a masterpiece of historical preservation, not just of stone, but of storytelling. It stands as a powerful reminder of our deep human desire to find meaning in the shadows. Science absolutely provides a crystal clear, rational answer here. Yet, the atmosphere of those ruins still manages to send a very real shiver down your spine. So as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this to think about. In Bhangarh, where history and mystery dance together, which story will you choose to believe?